Hello, gang. Dr. J, Steve Jensen from the National Sales Academy and Impact Training, and welcome to Breakfast with Dr. J. So when you pop on, if someone comes on at 7:30 on a Saturday morning, please say hello. Always good to see some people, and put a thumbs up, give us a bit of a wave, and we're good to go. Wow, what a week it's been. My goodness. I was actually in Queensland yesterday and just remembered how hot it does get in the evening. Goodness gracious. How humid was it there? Thank goodness we had air conditioning downstairs. So how was your week? Was it good? Was it average? Or was it poor? I was actually talking to a really great friend of mine just on Thursday. And we're talking about how there's lots of stuff that goes on a regular basis. And one of the things that was really apparent to me is this person is incredibly successful and doing some fantastic things. The feedback was, I'm not happy. I said, gee whiz, what haven't you got to be happy about? And it was the conclusion I came to was what he was thinking about was what he didn't have and what he didn't achieve and what he was having on a daily basis. But what he was having was tons of great stuff every single day, lots of things to be grateful for. And the process of gratitude is something that people are starting to talk about a lot more. And I can promise him, if he's listening this morning, keep thinking about those things that make you happy and that you're grateful for, your arms, your legs, the things that we take for granted. And I can promise you the strategy and the mindset does shift. Well, that's not a topic for this morning. My topic this morning is noise. Noise. Noise is something that comes up quite regularly when I go into lots of different businesses all around the world. They just start rattling. They go on a rant. And especially in sales or in leadership, people that, let's say, get on a noise pattern, it's really difficult to break. Hey, JT, how you going, mate? Hope things are good. Superstar JT, this man is a superstar. You should actually listen to JT in the Raw on a Friday. He's got some golden nuggets too, so look up JT. Back to my noise. When I actually listen to why people are failing, it's usually because they're talking too much. The days of actually trying to bamboozle people with verbiage are well and truly gone. They actually died when it started. People just kept talking and it's non-specific dialogue. You know what lots of noise does? It creates a thing called drift. Yeah. People nod their head, they're not listening, or they're preoccupied and they're just being polite. The other people just switch off. Drift comes on the phone when a salesperson is talking too much. It usually happens when people have little or no rapport. Yeah, people start talking too much because they think that chatter will actually help the person build rapport. Well, actually, it's disenfranchising them. It usually happens when people are nervous. They go into speed talking. It doesn't connect in a sale. It doesn't connect in management or leadership. Everyone knows the saying that we've got, one mouth and two ears, rah, rah, rah. But let's put it into perspective. I've been listening to telephone calls and been recording people over the last few months in particular to see what they're doing when I'm not around. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted with the amount of noise that people are making. They're talking about non-specific things. Oh, we'll get it sorted. Let's organize it as soon as possible. Okay, this is awesome. We'll get it done. Yep, we can do that. We'll work it out as soon as possible. And all of a sudden, oh yes, we've done it. We've helped loads of people do that. We've actually helped people lose weight. Well, at the end of the day, it's non-specific dialogue. And people it sounds good, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just noise. Now, please write this down. Get your trusty pen out, and I'm going to show you how to fix this noise pandemic. Forget about the coronavirus. The first thing we have to learn is to understand that if we want to get rid of the noise, Hi, Chanel, how you going? Thanks for joining me. Oh, terrific. 2 weeks in a row. You're a legend. If we want to get rid of noise, number one, use the 3 R's. The 3 R's are record, role play, and revise. Record what you're doing now. Don't go into any type of processes on telephone or belly to belly. And then I want to make sure that we fix the problems, role play it and record it. You can't change telephone activity. You can't change any type of activity until someone sees the problem. You can preach till the cows come home. You'll always have your pattern. You can't break a pattern until there's something that breaks it. Use the 3 R's. Now, the other thing that I'm finding, when people try to build rapport, and they say, oh, yes, I'm really good at building rapport, and the chatterboxes say that, they think that talking a lot builds rapport. Guys, people love to talk about themselves. So if you take this on board, if you want to build rapport, ask people questions about themselves and let them rant. Don't keep talking about all the stuff that you've done. Get a little bit of what you've done, tell them that, and ask them about them. And guess what? The shift will take place. The drift will disappear because the person will be talking about themselves. I'll tell them what their successes are. They'll tell them what your problems are. And guess what? Boom. People feel, and you just nod your head and you listen. And by the way, take note. Take note. Take your special little pen. Take note. After you've heard 3 pieces of information, 3 from the person, and if it's like, oh, we want it done as soon as possible, write it down as soon as possible. You've got to interject and say, let's be more specific. Now, please write this down. Specificity makes things real. The more specific you are, there's less noise. When it becomes broad brush, noise is going to cost you money, because you don't know what to do, you don't know what to fix, you don't know what the person wants to, let's say, repair or have a solution from your product and or service. Second thing is, if you don't ask the specific questions, the perception is that you don't care. Noise is killing a lot of sales. Noise is costing people a lot of money. The reason that people go to noise is they haven't got a process. If you have a process, we go from A to B to C and they know what to say. Do not let someone wing it on the phone. Do not let someone do a needs analysis, which is in their head. Do not let someone do a price presentation, which hasn't been practiced, drill, rehearsed. That becomes noisy. Noisy is when people are, let's say, nervous, unsure about themselves. No pauses that are awkward. It's killing a lot of opportunity. Now, when I say specificity makes things real, another thing I'd like you to write down is when you actually have gone through some specific dialogue, 1, 2, and 3, stop. This is really, really easy to do. Stop and ask the person to feed it back. If after you've told them 3 things that are very specific, stop and say, what was your understanding of what I said on number 1, number 2, number 3? I know some people that do it on number 2. Now, if they're telling you stuff, this is in reverse, this is reversal. If they're telling you things, write it down. Your brain ain't going to remember it, or type it as you're talking. Stop after 1, 2, or 3, recap that you've got it. Now, this allows you to create specificity and gets rid of noise. So many telephone calls go on to ranting. So many emails are full of a whole lot of stuff that doesn't need to be there. Now, sure, we've got to have conversation. I understand that. But the noise component creates a thing called objections. We think we're doing all the right thing. We're getting on a roll. Person's nodding their head. And guess what? They're getting into overwhelm. Your non-specific dialogue and too much noise hasn't got clarity in the person's head. And it could be with a team. You're trying to lead them. You're giving them all this information without stopping and saying, what's your understanding of what I've just said? Noise kills activity. Noise creates objections. So stop and make sure you have the specificity. Get recapping. using those record, role play, and making sure you revise. Record, role play, and revise to make sure we get rid of the noise. Get the person talking, get recapping when you've told people things 3 times. And make sure that there's clarity in the outcome. Now, to wrap it up, one of the things that when we get noisy, when we get into a motor mouth, what happens is it's hard to stop. Because we've been on this roll for a while on the phone or belly to belly, because, oh my goodness, if I actually stop talking, there's going to be this awkward silence. So I want you to understand the easiest way to do this is just ask them for their ideas. Ask them, okay, what's your position on this? Or what have you understand so far? I'd just like to take a bit of recap. What's your understanding? Or why do you think we should do this? Or what sort of time frame do you think that would work in? Stop and ask an open-ended question. So after you've been on a rant, if you want to stop talking, ask an open-ended question. It's very simple. Do not ask a closed question. Did you understand what I said? Yep. Now it's my turn to keep going. Noisy. Ask an open-ended question so you can transfer the opportunity for them to talk. Now, the way to fix noise is to fix your sales cycle if it's in sales. Look at it and say, how specific are we being? Are we drilling down and find a compelling reason to move forward to the next stage of your sale or opportunity? If you don't have that, and it becomes a whole lot of winging it. And guys, I've just been, all week, I've been training with people, there were new people that are coming on board, and most people are winging it on the phone. It was just like catastrophic. We were losing so many, they were losing so many opportunities. They're winging it, they don't have the process. And why, if there's no process, they got to fill it in with noise. So the way to fix this, guys, is get your telephone activity, your templates, for your emails, and get rid of the noise. Practice it. Next thing is, make sure you do your, make sure you record it. Record what's saying. Don't fix it, record it. Then role play it after you fixed it, then revise it. Understand that if your person is talking too much, there's going to be drift. We've got to stop after 2 or 3 things and get feedback. See, these are easy to do. This stops the noise. And the last thing is to making sure that if we don't want to go into overload and overwhelm, you got to make sure that you got the process of your explanation and your demonstration, which isn't too noisy. It hits the target. Don't talk about stuff that they don't need. And ask for feedback. And I've just found that so much noise is taking place with people that are new in sales or new in management. They think this talking is enough. It's not. Setting a set agenda, setting the task or what's next, whether it's in sales or management, and then asking for feedback so there's clarity for your sale. They can see there's an opportunity. Would you like to proceed? And let them say it. Boom. And the last thing I'll finish on, guys, when you are out of control in noise, and we all get there sometimes, ask yourself, how do I stop talking here? Stop, take a breath, ask an open-ended question to get their feedback. And I guarantee you, the noise will stop. Oh, and one thing, have a trusty pen when you are listening to them talk. After you get the 2 or 3 things down, feed it back so you can fix it. So gang, how's noise in your life? Are you making too much of it? Are your team being too noisy? Are they winging it too often on the phone? There's no system or process that's been, let's say, streamlined over the last few years. If that's the case, time to actually tweak it up. Want a sales growth plan with me? And I'll do a deep dive. I did a few the other day. My pleasure. Just let me know. Put it in comments down below. We'll just fix it up a little bit for you. All right. Well, Saturday's over. Breakfast with Dr. J was short and sweet this morning, but make sure you take it away and stop being noisy and understand that specificity makes things real. All right, gang. We'll see you next week, maybe during the week. Dr. J signing off. Bye for now.